Welcome to another great edition of Scaling with Insights, where we bring in top industry leaders to share their insights of what's working well to scale their businesses. My name is John Russo. I'm a former CMO turned entrepreneur. Now I'm helping other businesses scale, grow, and measure their business for effectiveness. Hey, we got another great episode today. I'm super excited to welcome a partner aboard, Tom Keefe, who's the Director of Marketing Operations. He's the guy at Demandbase. And you may have noticed that between the first picture that I shared and just this last picture, one of us has shaved and the other hasn't, but beard game on point. I am super excited to welcome you to the show, Tom, and thanks for making time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, John. Couldn't think of another way to start my morning.
Excellent. You're probably right at ground zero for a lot of these account-based challenges of measurement. I mean, you're implementing your own product. You're eating your own dog food, so to speak. I'm curious, what kind of trends are you seeing, even within your own instance or with clients that you talk to in terms of ABM measurement, which is a real big challenge for a lot of marketers?
Yeah, I think, a couple stand out right at first. And I think it's the focus on the account journey, whether it's, a combined effort of a person journey and the account journey, but really having that understanding of where is this account in that buyer cycle, and then pushing that insight and personalized, view down to every member of the revenue team, including marketers to run their programs. But I think one of the coolest things that I've seen, internally for us and with customers is the extension of this platform into like customer success in these expansion upsell plays, so that we actually understand, hey, you're a customer. And now we know more about where you are in that cycle. Are you interested in this product, that product? What do you have today? What kind of intent are you showing? What are you engaging with? And now it's not just a sales and marketing tool, but it's a full funnel, grow, land, expand, growth, customer health tool as well.
That's really interesting that you say that. And we've done like 100 plus engagements with you guys at Demandbase. And it's interesting. A lot of our engagements have been skewed toward the acquisition side. I hadn't really thought about the customer service side. What metrics, and you've got an infinitely flexible platform there that can configure to those other journeys. What kind of metrics are you seeing on that customer service side in terms of measurement, or are they any different from the acquisition side?
Yes, I think at first, everything's a crawl, walk, run. And at first it's really, what similar to the top of the funnel, volume, velocity, right? What accounts are moving where? How fast are they going there? But really, the great part about this platform is now you can bring in your own metrics. Like, do you have account health or NPS score? And really utilize that to either define those further post-customer stages or create insights of, this customer is not engaged. Let's get that CSM up and running, talking to that customer as well. So really, you can measure it the same as you measure the top, but then add your own flavor of customer data in to really refine what you're looking for.
You also mentioned something pretty interesting about intent data. And, we see intent as an ingredient in the cake of marketing qualified accounts, mainly because we don't want to surprise the sales team with having to learn new configurations. How do you see intent playing out on your side of the equation?
Yeah, I think, at first, a lot of people think about intent just for that, new logo, top of funnel, who's not engaging with me, but is interested in my product or my competitor's product. And that's a great use case, right? MQAs, aware stages, and building it out that way. But I look at it more of a full funnel, right? Like, it's great to understand that these accounts are highly engaged with us and they're showing intent, and that's what's creating the MQA. But what accounts own product A that are now showing interest in product B, right? From, again, that full funnel post-customer life cycle. And really from a marketing standpoint as well, like, where are you in that journey and what kind of content can I push based on that intent? How can I arm my SDR team to then, put you in the right sequence or cadence based on the intent you're showing, and maybe combine that with, the webinar, the ebook, or whatever it is you consumed at, hooked up to my Marketo and Salesforce campaigns.
Yeah, that's a great point, that you can tie a lot of that intent to marketing actions in particular. Just thinking about the measurement side of things, in our experiences, the measuring of account-based marketing, and you've seen the Topo do a funnel, that's hard work to operationalize. And you and I are pretty passionate about the measurement of ABM. Any tips or advice that you're finding as part of your customer interactions of what you're saying, hey, here's what you need to do to really operationalize that kind of funnel?
Yeah, I think really it comes down to setting goals and objectives. What is your goal of that measurement, right? Are you trying to produce more MQA accounts? Maybe you look at a volume, attainment standpoint. Is your focus really on moving things down funnel that are maybe in a meeting or pre-qualified pipeline stage, and really having that hyper focus? Because I think just as well as I do, there's so much more data now, right? There's an infinite amount of information you could pick and choose. It used to just be, did you open my email and click my link, right? That was like the simple world that we all used to live in. And now it's, well, did you have that level of engagement? Did you go to the website X amount of times? How am I trying to transition this account, and what programs am I running? Because if I'm trying to get more accounts to hit a stage or move them faster, all the actions I take as a marketer or a sales rep is aimed towards that. So setting that goal and really understanding, this is what I'm going to hyper focus on. And then, crawl, walk, run, add another goal, add another concept to your measurement scheme.
Yeah, I think you're hitting the nail on the head with having a vision of where you want to get to, particularly as it relates to measurement. Otherwise, how do you know that you actually get there? It's always good to start with that vision and kind of work your way backward. But just thinking about the system side of things, it can be pretty complex to think through, define, get everybody to buy in. Have you seen any kind of trends there in terms of the change management process that companies go through, or maybe even your own company that you've blended now Engagio, where you originally came from, into demand base? Are you having to do any change management there on any of your business processes, or any techniques that seem to be working for you?
Yeah, totally. You're hitting on something that's really close to my heart. I have this mantra that I think operations people are actually the best sales reps at a company. No offense to all my sales reps, because we're actually the people that need to change human behavior, need to change and educate how people view things and what's important to them. So there's been a lot of that going on, right? Because when Engagio got acquired by Demandbase, they viewed their business a certain way. We viewed our business a certain way. And now we have these two companies combined into one with all of this data, all of these analytics. And it's like, you used to focus on A, B, and C. Now we're going to focus on, maybe it's the account journey. Maybe it's the intent that's shown. Right now we have new technologies that we can track. Did this SDR actually reach out? And now we're producing better SLAs based on that data set. So it's really been, I don't want to say a holistic change to the company, but a lot of the focus has changed from, and I'd say that's pushed from an operations mindset, because we understand what's possible and what to focus on, and then educate, different RVPs and sales leaders and marketing executives that we focus on these new things. We can actually see the results better. We can trust in those results more accurately. And at the end of the day, we're going to bring in more revenue.
Yeah, we've been also echoing, for those people that are buying platforms like yours, it's an opportunity to inject change management. Like, hey, I just bought the demand-based platform, and because we bought the demand-based platform, it causes these kind of changes in business process, as a way to kind of orchestrate that change, because it can be a lot of change to do ABM. It's not a trivial task at all, as I'm sure you're well aware.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point too, because when you bring in new technologies, right, it's daunting. It's like, well, I did it this way, and now I need to do it that way. But that doesn't mean you should stop measuring it your old way, right? Because it's, again, crawl, walk, run. I always come back to that, right? Because no one's going to give you a piece of technology that's going to change your entire business and your mindset on day zero. So continue to track what you used to do, and now track these new things alongside with it. Is there a correlation to maybe your old MQL system and quantity measurements with an MQA? One of the great things about the Demandbase One platform is the account journey will allow you to bring in those old processes, right? So you could use engagement minutes, the predictive scores to build out these account stages, or you can use these really cool cross-object relationships that say, well, if an account has someone in an MQL stage, let's make that account engaged, right? And you can really not redefine your world, but bring it into this new world and really enhance what you're doing by utilizing your old practices.
Yeah, the customizable journey is incredibly important, as what you're talking about there, because not only can you bring the processes in Your tool, we found you can also port in other technologies, which also enhance the ABM journey. And some of those technologies being intent, as example, you can bring your own intent to complement the demand-based intent, which is helpful. So you've got a really flexible platform there. How about the future? And maybe last business question here. What do you think is the future of the ABM platform coming next?
Yeah, I have so many ideas for that. Product team's gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh no, he hasn't told me that one yet." That's gonna be I really do think it's a full revenue team activation. Like I mentioned earlier, with that customer success and really enabling marketers to play more of a part of that. Because stereotypically, you get Marketo or Eloqua and it's all about MQLs, SQLs, and an opportunity happens and we kind of wipe our hands with that. And then, account managers, customer success, they then manage that account in the life cycle. And what we're really putting an emphasis on internally, and I've seen it in customers, is this customer marketing. I think we all know Megan here. She told me one day that a happy customer is always worth more than, a new business logo. And I 100% agree with that, because if you can convince someone that what you've sold them, what they're using on a day-to-day basis is going to bring them more value and they trust you, whether it's direct trust, G2, another person in the space saying, I love this tool, they're way more apt to grow, expand, and really evolve what they're doing. And I think bringing in the customer success in that second half of the funnel is really going to be that next part.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. How about outside of demand-based? I'm sure we were actually talking about Frisbee golf earlier. What's your favorite course in the Bay Area? You've got beautiful weather year-round, and in the COVID world, it's probably a terrific sport to be involved with. But what, shifting gears, where do you find the most satisfaction and the best challenge Frisbee golf-wise?
Yeah, I'd have to say De La Viega down in Santa Cruz, where they host like big professional tournaments every couple of years. It's one of those things, just like regular golf. I'm going to go there, really great attitude. I'm going to do really well today. And then, of course, totally beat you up. But then you have about 2 really good throws. You're like, oh, I'm going to come back. This is going to be fun. And you're outside. You're walking probably, a couple miles on the course. So nice to get outside when we're all kind of stuck in the house nowadays.
Is that right off the ocean there in Santa Cruz, or is it a little bit further inland?
It's a little inland, like right at the bottom of 17. I think it's like another, I don't know the highway, but like you go to the highway south, it's like one exit down. Too bad, from the peninsula, it's about an hour drive.
Yeah, I think it's on between 1 and 17 there.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah,
because it's a beautiful area. Absolutely beautiful. It can get a little windy there depending on what day of the week you're there. And then do they still have Margaritaville at Capitola? And not to date myself, but that's probably long gone by now.
I honestly don't know. I'm thinking about driving down there tomorrow, so
there you go. Well, it's a good bar. If you do hit it up, it's right on the water. It's heaven. It's paradise. Hey, Tom, I really appreciate you making the time, and it's great seeing you.
Yeah, likewise, John. You have a good rest of your day.